start with a small story. It is a very interesting anecdote from Homer's epic poem, The Odyssey, from Greek mythology. The legend of the sirens beautifully lays the foundation for this unique course on emotional intelligence. Odysseus, a respected warrior, is returning home to the island of Ithaca after the Trojan War. A Greek goddess warns him about the sirens. In Greek mythology, the sirens were dangerous creatures who seduced and tempted nearby sailors with their enchanting music and singing voices. They were supposedly half women and half bird, but are often depicted as voluptuous young women in illustrations and paintings. The goddess warns Odysseus that the sirens sit beside the ocean, combing their lovely hair and singing to passing sailors. Anyone who hears their song is bewitched by its sweetness and drawn to their islands like iron to a magnet. Then, as their ship approaches these islands, it smashes onto the sharp rocks bordering them, and the sailors join the many victims of the sirens in a meadow filled with skeletons. On hearing this warning, Odysseus orders his sailors to stuff beeswax in their ears so that they cannot be bewitched by the siren songs. He also tells them to tie him firmly to the ship's mast. Only after that do they attempt to pass by the Sirens' Islands. Even after that, when he hears the sirens' voices and songs, Odysseus is enchanted. He struggles so hard against the ropes that they cut through his skin. But thankfully, since he has been bound firmly and his sailors cannot hear the sirens' songs due to the beeswax stuffed in their ears, they all manage to cross these islands safely. Now, that is one of the popular depictions of emotions and reason, isn't it? Our emotions are like the siren songs, bewitching us and making us lose control of ourselves. And our rationality or reason is like that rope binding us to the mast, something we use to forcibly control ourselves so that we won't be able to succumb to our uncontrollable emotions. And if we do give in to our emotions, don't they sometimes lead us to smash onto the rocks and destroy our lives? Well, the siren's analogy is certainly true in some ways, but it is not the whole story. And by the end of this course, you will have a far more complete research based picture of human emotions, as well as practical lessons from the actual psychological research. Emotional intelligence, or EI as it is often abbreviated, was a term used in the 1960s. It is described as the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions and those of others. EI became very popular after Daniel Goleman wrote his 1996 book, Emotional Intelligence. His model of EI is a mixed model, and there are two other EI models as well. There are also several different measures and scales of EI that have been developed over the decades. And while there is some research to suggest that such measures can be a factor for personal and professional success, this relationship is not clear or strong. So, measuring EI with complicated EQ questionnaires and calculations may not really be that effective after all. This course, however, does not measure your EQ or cover any of these EI models. Instead, I cover the real research and studies on various emotions from psychology. I focus on the more complex human emotions which are unique to human beings, and I look at the themes connecting these emotions. These themes have a powerful effect on our thinking, judgment, and decision making. These effects can be good but can also be very misleading and even harmful. And we can and should control and manage these effects. Lessons from the real research on your emotions will help you practically manage and control your emotions in your professional and personal lives.